Hey, I'm Tashaka Armstrong, and thank you for joining us for Tech for the Rest of Us for another video review. And today we're taking a look at Nvidia's Shield TV, powered by the Tegra X1 processor. This thing is arguably the most powerful Android streaming box that you can buy today. But with all that said, does it have all the apps, all the compatibility necessary to satisfy all your streaming needs, whether that be from an app or service or local content on a home media server? Let's take a look. What do you get when you get the Nvidia Shield TV? Well, as I stated, it has the Tegra X1 processor with a 256-core GPU. Now, Nvidia is known for their GPUs, for their graphics processing units, their video accelerators. So anything you play on this 4K video games, it's going to handle it like a champ. No stutter, no lag whatsoever. The set-top box is 4K Ultra HD ready, and it'll play 4K at 60 frames per second, 7.1 and 5.1 surround sound pass-through. You also get 16 gigabytes worth of storage and up to 500 gigabytes worth of storage with a micro SD card or USB drive. The device currently supports 802.11c, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz band, so you've got dual band Wi-Fi built right in. Bluetooth 4.1 LE, which is the low energy equivalent, the low energy standard. It also supports gigabit Ethernet and HDMI 2.0, which is important because if you're going to use that 7.1 pass-through, you're going to need an HDMI port on your newer 4K TV that supports HDCP 2.2. You also get two USB 3.0 ports, one micro USB 2.0 port, and of course that micro SD slot that we mentioned. You also have an IR receiver on the device that's compatible with Logitech Harmony. So what I like about the Shield TV is that it's really fast. The device is very fast because of the processor, because of the processing power. Like I stated, this is one of the most powerful boxes on the market running Android currently. The setup was quick, easy, very straightforward, very well laid out, very intuitive. Gaming, easy, looks great. It's as easy as choosing and picking a game on your Android phone. So if you're familiar with downloading games from the Google Play Store, then this is a similar function. It works just like it does on your mobile, on your smartphone, for the most part. The only thing missing from Shield TV, and this is what it's missing from all of Android since Amazon doesn't support it, hasn't released, an Amazon Instant Video app. If you're looking to watch Amazon Prime, use that Amazon Prime account, you're out of luck on Shield TV, but that is technically not a limitation of Shield TV. That's a whole Android, Amazon, Google, Amazon battle going on. The box is beautifully designed. It is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, but you're not going to be moving it that much probably. Wherever you set it up is probably where it's going to stay for the most part. So fingerprints, not a big deal. Just had to say it because it does collect them. One of the features I really like on this device that you won't see on some of the other lower end devices like a Chromecast or the Fire TV Stick from Amazon is the ability to plug in headphones to the remote controls so that you can listen to their games, your movies without disturbing anybody else in the home if you're maybe watching later at night or you just don't want to disturb people with what you're watching or listening to. Plug your headphones right up to the controller. Either of the two controls that currently come with the device you can plug up. You also get voice control. Right from the remote, you can use voice control to search out media on the device. Launch Netflix. Oscar-winning movies from 2015. Show me Kevin Hart movies. Now, as you can see, when you use voice search, it's going to show you content from various services. In this instance, we have movies that you can purchase from the Google Play Store, we have YouTube content, and we have Hulu content. Now, when you click on the Hulu content, it's going to ask you to sign into Hulu, of course, to allow you to play the content, but it's a pretty seamless connection, goes right into the service to stream your content. Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension. As you can see, when I did a voice search for Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension, arguably one of the greatest movies ever created in all of human experience. You also get the year the movie was created or the year the movie was out. You see the tomato meter as well as the recommendations, or rather the star rating on Google's Play Store. So Buckaroo Banzai, there's obviously some people who are sick in the head out there because it only has a 72% rating. It should be at 101%, but I'm a forgiving person, so I'll allow that to pass. And you can see the rest of the ratings is 6.4 out of 10. Again, some people who aren't quite right, but you can see the 6.4 out of 10. And you'll see that when you pull up movies, you'll get that ratings, you'll get the tomato meter when you pull them up, if you care about those kinds of things. You also get a cast list. You'll see the cast list for the content you pull up. So when you pull up a movie, you're trying to figure out if you want to watch it, see who's in the movie. Again, one of the greatest movies in all of human experience. You can see it also had a cast that was probably one of the greatest casts in all of human experience. I mean, what better can you get with characters named John Big Boutte? You'll also see when you look up the movies, you get content in 3, 2, 1. You also see when you look the movies up, you'll see from some of the actors other movies they've been in. So in this case, the star of the movie, Peter Weller, it shows other movies Peter Weller was in. RoboCop, RoboCop 2, Leviathan, Star Trek Into Darkness, Naked Lunch, some of the other movies that Peter Weller has starred in, as well as some of the other movies from similar genres. So mad scientist movies, I think that would be apropos for Buckaroo Banzai to have a relationship with that. So you'll see other mad scientist movies, other sci-fi movies, and related content that you can find about Buckaroo Banzai on YouTube. So you'll get that as well. And then things they think you want to watch that are related to it. So let's go through all of what you're going to see in the menus on the Shield TV. You have Shield Hub, which allows you to access Shield games, GeForce Now. GeForce Now is a subscription service which will allow you to subscribe and play, use up to 50 games. The subscription it's a monthly subscription. It's a little cheaper than PlayStation's subscription, but again, you're going to get 50 games. As you can see, it's $7.99 a month. You get the first 3 months free when you try it out. Also, Shield Games. Shield Games is a store for a bunch of content that you'll see on there. There's some pretty cool content. You see the Walking Dead series is on there, Real 3 Racing, Grand Theft Auto, Liberty Cities. There's some really great content. And again, because of the processor you're using with this, that Tegra X1, games look really good on Shield TV. As you can see, the install for the games is very straightforward. You go, you find a game. The upper band gives you the options to look at the description of the game, to do the actual install of the game. And then from there, you can go ahead and install the game. And because it has that Tegra X1 processor, this is also going to be a monster for using emulators. So if you want to download a Nintendo 64 emulator, it has enough power to handle Nintendo 64 games. You can download other emulators and play games from those consoles as well. And you're going to find that it's going to hold up to that and play and stream that content with ease, again, because of the horsepower you're getting out of the processor included inside the device. Also because the chassis of the device is larger, unlike some of the other smaller devices and tablets and phones that some of these processors have been in, you have the ability for that processor to really just kind of spread its wings. It has a large vent, it has a larger body, so it's going to dissipate heat. So it's going to run better, longer in the Shield TV than it would in a more enclosed, more compact environment, simply because of heat dissipation. So this is what it looks like when you're playing some first-person shooter action on Nvidia's Shield TV. As you can see, again, the Tegra X1 handles this like a charm. There is no lag, and the graphics are actually really clean. One of the issues I had was sound and the ability to control it through my TV. Essentially, you have two items, two objects, two pieces of hardware fighting for control of sound on your TV in some setups. So what I did is I went into the settings menu and went into the sound and actually set the sound so that it was fixed sound or fixed output, so that the TV itself, or the remote control for my TV, is what is being used to control the volume for the Shield TV. If you do have to control volume, you also have the ability to control the volume through the remote control, or through the gaming control, or the little slim remote control, which is capacitive on the included remote, which, by the way, is $50 if you buy it separately. That's kind of steep for a remote, especially that remote by itself. But if you purchase Shield TV right now, you can actually get that remote included in the kit with the purchase. So you're going to get that $50 remote with the purchase of the Shield TV currently. As you can see, if you have younger users using Shield TV, you can actually lock out access to certain apps. So for instance, if you want to set this up so that younger users only have access to games you download, apps that you download that allow them to watch certain content, you can set it so that you can lock out Google's Play Store, play movies, play TV, play games. You can lock all these things out so that they can't access them to then download new content, and then they're going to have to come to you every time they want to download something. That's going to be a hassle. I've been there, I've done that, but there's a lot of content out there in the streaming world that kids have access to more than any other time in history. So there really are some really bad things that they can see online if they're younger users and they're just allowed to kind of go unchecked. So you may want to go into the settings, set up the restricted apps, and make it so that they can only access content that you have talked about. As always, having good conversations with kids is always the best way to handle things, because they're going to find ways around certain blocks. They're going to find some content that you probably don't want them watching. You also have purchase authorization. So this is something that you might be familiar with from Google N320. This is something you might be familiar with from your Android devices you're already using. This allows you to control being able to put in a password every time you purchase something, or you can set it up so that it only requires a password every 30 minutes or never. Again, if young children are using this, because of in-app purchasing, I suggest you turn it on for all purchases made through the Google Play Store. Otherwise, you're going to get a $1,200 bill for a Smurf game and not know why you're getting it initially until you do a little research and find out it was $1,200 worth of Smurf items. That's how they get you. You're going to get a free game. The kids will download a free game. Then they're going to have to purchase items in-game purchases to level up their characters and their games. So the biggest drawback, if any, to Shield TV is that you're limited by the apps and services that are available through the Google Play Store. So again, that's going to limit you to not being able to download or have Amazon Prime access. But one of the other areas where Shield TV really shines is with its media streaming capabilities from media server services like Plex and like XBMC or what's now known as Kodi. You're going to get access to those services. And honestly, if you have friends who have Plex, being able to do some of the shared libraries and some of those functions is going to increase the content that's available to you. So that's a really big plus to this service. So again, you have the expandability of being able to use a service like Plex or Kodi. You have the access to all the apps that you can access and download in Google's Play Store. So all of your streaming apps, you can see right there we've got access to Showtime, CBS All Access, HBO Now, Vivo, Made to Measure, Crunchyroll, one of my favorites, PBS, and a whole host of others. Crackle if you're into Jerry Seinfeld and Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, cool show. I actually ate at the cafe that he ate at with somebody in one of the episodes that I can't remember, but it's in Malibu. It's a nice little cafe. If I can tell you the name, I'll tell you check it out sometime, but I can't remember, so I can't tell you that. Anyway, Epics, all these other options that are available, you can see them all right here in Google's Play Store. That is the Shield TV. It is a beast. It is a monster of a machine, especially if you're into gaming. You're going to find, as I said, that you'll be quite satisfied with the amount of power this thing puts out. But is it right for you? At $199, are you going to get all of the use, all of the function out of it that you're looking for your multimedia, your media viewing? It's up for you to decide. I'm Tashaka Armstrong. Thank you for watching again. And if you have any questions, comments, anything I haven't answered in the video, please leave it in the comments below. We'll get to it, get it answered. See you next time.